On today's show, Tiffany dreams of giving her dog a bath. Cara is told she has to write or she'll get karma. And Joanne helps people escape from Africa. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Hello, welcome everybody. We're so excited you are here with us.
This is another half hour of us eavesdropping on the very personal communication between the spirit world and you, because that's what your dreams are, communication between the spirit world for you. And that's why we focus on dreams. If you want to know what you're meant to be doing in your life right now, at this very moment, then look no further than your dreams. To get your dreams analyzed on our show, go to dream-analysis.com/podcast. Fill in the form that's there, or simply submit your dream to the show by emailing radioshow@dream-analysis.com. And include all the detail you can. Give it a title. Tell us how you felt. If you mention people in the dream, tell us about them. Tell us what you think about them. Honestly, we won't forward it to them. You can be just frank. All right. That's it. That's all you have to do. Your dreams are the best source for you to discover everything about yourself, what your superpowers are, what holds you back in life. And we say it on the show all the time. The things that hold you back in life are not in the way, they are the way. Sandy, have you anything to say?
I do. So I love to announce when we've got courses coming up, and I am so excited. We have the Spiritual Dimension of Dreams coming up on December 9th. Now, this is one of our cheapest programs, but it gives you a big bang for your buck. It is only $97, and I will let Michael tell you all about it.
Well, first of all, I have to get this straight. I have the understanding that the word cheap in America is not what it means in England and Ireland. In England and Ireland, it means inexpensive. But in America, cheap means it's not worth anything.
Oh, it's worth a lot. It'll change your life. That's what I meant, is it's inexpensive. It's a good starting point to start getting into our programs, and the power of it. It changes people's lives, and it gets them on the path to where they want to go.
It does.
They may not even know.
It's a great course if you want to get some dreams analyzed, because it is a little mini course. We teach you everything about spiritual gifts and dreams and how they show up, so that you can spot your own gifts from your own dreams, or spot gifts for your friends. That'd be a great party trick you could do. Just get them to tell you a dream. From what we teach you, I promise you, you will be able to spot gifts from symbols that you've never seen before, because we tell you how to spot the symbols, what the keys are behind the symbols. And then you also get a free session with April to have your dreams analyzed. So it's the cheapest way to get your dreams analyzed. See, I'm using the word now, Sandy, because you started it. If you wanted to
inexpensive.
If you wanted April to work with you to get your dreams analyzed, that would cost you $200. This course costs $97, and you get that session with her for free. So it is really good value. Anyway, December 9th is when that starts, 9 a.m. Pacific time. If you want details about it, go to dream-analysis.com/courses. And it's the first course listed on that page. Sandy, do you want to dive into the dreams?
I do. I'm real excited about some of these dreams. They look interesting. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about them. Anyways, the first one, giving Wynter a bath. And this is from Tiffany. Had a dream where it's me and a few girls in a large bathroom. We were all talking and laughing. One of the girls' name is Tamara. She is my coworker with platinum blonde hair and is talking to me about doing her hair. Meanwhile, I'm putting my hair up in a ponytail while looking in the mirror. Then it's time to give Wynter a bath. She's a lot bigger in the dream than she is in real life. When she stands up on her hind legs, she is almost as tall as me. She is a husky. But her face in the dream looks a bit different. It's a bit darker and has more gray hairs. I'm trying to get her into the bathtub, so I stand her up on her hind legs and hold her body like we're doing the waltz dance into the tub. It was funny and sweet. That's short, Michael. Your turn.
Right. It's a nice dream. When I talked to Tiffany about this, I obviously channeled on the dream. I asked her about Tamara, and she said she's smart, beautiful, and friendly. And that's really good. So she's dreaming of a positive woman in her dream. Women in dreams can represent our own feminine aspects and our ability to express how we feel to other people. So I asked Tiffany if she had a problem with that. And she says, absolutely. I do not share how I feel to other people. I hold myself back. And then I asked her, how are you around people when your dog is present? And she said, I'm able to be myself because the dog draws it out of her. You know, she's able to be who she needs to be for the dog. And the dog is just going to be who she is. No problem. But that was really cool. So the waltzing, dancing to the bathtub in a room with other people in it is saying that she should imagine that her dog is with her in situations when the dog isn't, so that she can just be herself and express, because obviously dancing is a form of expression. But it's a really cool dream, little short dream and very punchy. But there's a few other things we see in it, like the blonde hair of Tamira is asking her to get in touch with her feminine side. So if you see a blonde man in a dream, it's asking you to get in touch with your masculine side. That's how it works. But really cool dream. The other thing we see is she has her hair in a ponytail. Getting your hair done is really good. And Tamira is talking about getting her hair done. So it's saying, look, you need to change how you think. And then the rest of the dream says, this is what you need to do to change how you think. Pretend the dog is around. Pretend your dog is around. Great. But she puts her hair in a ponytail. So it's saying she's restricted. She restricts how she thinks. Ponytails are at the back of us. So she restricts how she thinks because of influence from the past. And then lastly, the bathtub. Bathrooms and dreams are about elimination of whatever else went on beforehand in the dream. So here it's about eliminating what causes you to not express yourself. Sandy, over to you.
Yeah, so very interesting. So she's dancing, but she's got the dog up on the hind legs. Is there anything in particular about that symbol?
Yeah, the dog is bigger than it is in reality, and the dog's on hind legs. So it's like, treat it like the dog is in the room. Like give more significance to how you are when you're around the dog. That's how to translate that.
Very interesting. Okay, and then it said platinum blonde. So platinum is more of a metal. It's kind of a silver.
I would take the platinum blonde to be that this has value. If we take it, that platinum level of anything tends to be the top level, like a platinum credit card versus, a silver credit card. That's what I would take out of that, rather than it being metal.
Okay, cool. Well, that was cool. Next dream. This one is the car crash, and it's from Kara. We were all driving in Don's truck somewhere. Don is my little sister's dad. My mom was in the front passenger seat, me in the back in the middle seat. Savvy, my sister, is on the left of me, and Charlie, her boyfriend, is on my right. I feel bad because Charlie was being squished up against the window, and we all laughed about it. And I told Savvy she should just sit on my lap. We were getting off the freeway, and there was a big white semi truck that was in front of us that was completely stopped. For some reason, I had a feeling that Don had just been in a car accident recently. We were going too fast, and there wasn't enough time to completely stop before hitting the truck. We hit the truck, but it wasn't too bad of an accident. But when we hit the truck, other cars behind us were also crashing all around us because of the pileup. There was a blue car with two girls in it. I think that we saw two girls in it that I think we saw got split in two right down the middle. All I could hear was a loud impact of the cars and people screaming while it was happening. We were all in shock of what just happened and started to get out of the car. Don was checking on all of us to make sure we were all right. I was thankful we were all okay. We saw a few other people on the end of the roadway walking that were involved in the car crashes. Some were injured and in shock. I felt so sad for what they had been through and was thankful we had managed to not get hit too badly. Wow. That's a car wreck there, Michael.
So, of course, it's just the dream's way of showing something and the importance of something. So Cara has an ability. The ability is shown by the semi-truck. Semi-trucks are, they have a pivot point that is an articulated joint. And the articulated joint, or any vehicle with an articulated joint, is really about you having the ability to articulate yourself through writing. So you're very articulate when it comes to writing. And that's what it's always going to be. So if it's a bus that bends in the middle because they bend on the same thing, or anything like that, then it says that this is an ability you have. But what's very significant about a semi-truck is they're only a work vehicle. So this is your career. You're meant to be working as a writer. You're meant to be making money as a writer. You're meant to be influencing other people as a writer. And so we often talk about things that are behind us in a dream. And very seldom do we see dreams where it's, okay, there's something up ahead that I hit. And what does that mean? Well, it says that you are going to hit a point in the future that's going to give you karma. And that's what a car crash is most of the time in a dream, a car crash in front of you. A karmic event is going to happen. And why is it going to happen? It's going to happen because you are doing nothing with your writing career. It's parked on the freeway. That's, well, she doesn't say parked. What did she say? She says it just stopped.
Yeah, it's getting off the freeway.
She's getting off the freeway. The truck isn't. She says,
oh, no.
The semi-truck was in front of us and it was completely stopped. So the emphasis is on not just stopped, it's completely stopped. Like, why would you add that extra emphasis? You wouldn't say the car in front of me was completely stopped. It's either stopped or not. So it's like she judges that she's not a good writer. And she admitted this. And we know she judges because it's a white semi-truck. It's also big. So she's meant to make space for this in her life. But I asked her, do you enjoy writing? And she says, absolutely not. I don't like it at all. So very much against it. And that's why we have the completely and the completely stopped. What else do we see in the dream? We see at the start, her sister, little sister, she says, you can sit in my lap. So even though she has a boyfriend in reality, and she's an adult in reality now, she said in the dream she was younger. I forget the age, but say she was 3 or 4. So it was okay for her to be sitting on her lap in the dream. It all made sense, you know, the way it does in a dream. But so I was tuning into that and I said, she sacrifices herself for others. And before I said it, my guide said, no, that's not what it is. It's only family. So I asked her, do you do that? Do you sacrifice yourself for family? So like she's in the back seat. We should never be in the back seat in a dream. We should be the driver. Unless a guide or somebody like that is driving us, then we're taking direction from our guides. That would be good. But we have her stepdad and her mom in the front of the car and she's in the back. So that's part of saying I put myself in second position when it comes to my family, or put myself in the back place. And then that's not good enough. She also lets her sister occupy her space in the back of the car. So it's like I sacrifice myself for my family. Very clear. She does it. Of course, anybody who does this is going to think I'm great. I mean, I'm great that I do this. And the answer is no, we shouldn't do this. Because it's connected to her not using her writing ability. Now to the accidents. I said that the accident is about her incurring karma. And this is true for all of us. When we come here, our guides, like we have planned a lifetime with guides and angels who work on the nuances of our life before we ever get here. And so if I say I'm going to come here and I'm going to interpret dreams, then they're also going to say, okay, we will rely on you doing that. So that we can have all these other people who will encounter you after you've developed your gift, and you will help put them on, you know, in some way, put them on the right path through what you do, or give them some information that's vital to them for their journey. And so it's similar for Cara. She said she's going to write, and we know from other dreams she's a spiritual leader, so she's going to write in that kind of vein. And other people need her to write these books because they're going to influence and change their lives. The books are going to influence those people and change their lives. But what happens if she doesn't write? Well, first of all, Cara gets karma for it, but then she also gets the karma for all the other people that didn't get to move forward on their life. Like it stops because she refuses to write. And so it shows it in a kind of a nasty way, but it's all connected to her not writing. Does that make sense? Hope it does.
It does. So I have questions. Can I ask questions now?
Can I ever stop you?
No. The first thing is they're driving in Dawn's truck. So what is the significance of it being a truck?
Trucks have to do with career. Trucks are masculine. And most people who have trucks, they get a truck because they're going to use it in some capacity to haul things around or whatever. So, but it's a masculine energy symbol anyway. And Don plays a positive role in the dream because he's checking on everybody afterwards to make sure everybody's okay. So I don't think there's anything negative in that.
Okay. And then we have a blue car and two girls. Notice the emphasis on blue and two.
So this is about something at age 2 that caused her to split from what she's meant to do, because we see it's an accident, it's bad. And the car is what gets split down the middle, not the girls.
Right.
It's along the lines of, I separated from my spiritual goals, let's say, because again, cars are about moving forward. It's a blue car. It's about pursuing spiritual goals. And something caused damage to me pursuing that. And that something happened around age 2.
Wow, very powerful. And then I find it very interesting at the end that she felt sad for what they had been through, but never once thought about what she went through because they were the ones that got hit first. So what do you get out of that?
So it's always interesting. When we go through our life review, we get to see all the way we affected people negatively. And we don't just get to see it. It's not like, okay, here's a list. We get to feel the impact from their perspective. And so this is kind of saying spiritually, I am sad for the fact that I didn't do what I came here to do, and it's going to hurt these other people.
Okay, that's a pretty strong message there, Michael.
Absolutely, but it's not just for Cara. Everybody gets this. If you know you have a gift and you're not using the gift, several things happen as a result of that. One, the people that you promised to help don't get the help, and you'll get karma for that. It's not like somebody apportions karma out to you. You will put it on yourself because of how you feel when you understand the impact you've had on somebody's life. Because you've made this promise. You've promised, like, yeah, give me a spot and I will definitely develop this ability and I will definitely help these people. Most people in the West do not do anything with their gifts. And so they get that karma, and they also can end up ill because they're not using their gifts. There's a strong correlation between ignoring an aspect of your functioning and getting a physical ailment.
Wow. All righty. I guess Cara better start writing. Okay, the next dream from Africa to the US, and this is from Joanne. I dreamt that we were in Africa to help the people escape all the corruption there. It was like a whole school of us. We would take these tunnels, underground tunnels, systems to get from Africa to the US. I vaguely remember a guy chasing after me, trying to catch me. That was how I escaped, was through one of the tunnel systems. I came out of the tunnel into a movie theater and tried to sit in one of the seats in the back to hide. Someone was upset by this for some reason. I then remember coming out of one of the tunnels that was built into a rock, and it was sort of like a cliff, and there was a body of water below. Not sure if it was a lake, river, or sea. We had to help these people across the water to get into U.S. territory so they'd be safe. There was something in the water that was paralyzing them, so we had to give them some sort of antidote to get them across. I remember in Africa, the planes flying over were purposely spraying chemicals on their people to make them sick. I thought maybe this had something to do with it. Wow. Crazy dream there, Michael. Your turn. Can't wait to hear it.
So Africa, what's Africa about? Well, if you're from Africa, it's different. It's going to be about home. But if you're not, it's about getting to the root or the origin of an issue, because Africa is where the human race started. And so it's positive that way in a dream. Because really what we're trying to do almost all the time is get to the origin of our issues so that we can understand them and get perspective on them, and then embrace whatever our issue is and transmute it and turn it into something positive. So dreaming that you're in Africa is quite a good thing. And then helping people escape. So I asked her also, I asked Joanne, have you ever been to Africa? And she said, no. So that's significant. If you had been there, then you would also look at, well, how did you feel? Why did you go? What was it like for you? And that could be why you're dreaming of the country. So that's important too. But here she says, because she was never there, we know it's about a past life influence. So if you ever dream about being in a country you've never been to, then it's a past life influence that's coming up. Doesn't mean that that's where you were, but anyway. It was like a whole school of us, so we know she's a spiritual leader because of the school reference. And also the very fact that she's helping people. Like she's playing a leadership role in the dream. Like she's helping people deal with this corruption, escape this corruption, and get to safety. And that's what a spiritual leader would do anyway. But the school itself would tell us that too. And then she said, we take these underground tunnels. And these tunnels in this dream are about birth. Going through the tunnel, coming out into the physical world. We go the opposite way when we pass over, of course. And I point that out because people might be looking at it going, is it about the digestive system? And sometimes underground tunnels are. If she said it was tunneled through the dirt, I would say yes, absolutely. But these are massive tunnels. Anyway, she says, I vaguely remember a guy chasing after me, trying to catch me. So this is about issues with the masculine side, so issues with dad, or masculine side from a former life. So when we see former life stuff in dreams, it means that like here, she doesn't feel safe because she's trying to help people escape persecution or corruption, right? And so as I don't feel safe because these people aren't safe, I need to get them out, and I'm everybody in a dream. So I've got to bring people to safety. So I don't feel safe in life. And you would be guaranteed if you said to this person, when did this start for you? She wouldn't know because it would be pervasive throughout her life, because this is an issue that she brought with her to fix. So it's not a specific event that happened. Now, there will be specific events that show her that she has the problem. Anyway, she says, that was how I escaped, was through the tunnels. That's fine. And she comes out into a movie theater. Movie theaters are about giving you the big picture in life. So that's what they want her to do. Look at the big picture. What is my life about? And then if I have the big picture, hopefully I'm just going to do what I came here to do. But what does she do? She hides in the back of the theater. So she is not up front. She still is in this space of, I don't share who I am and I don't want people to notice me. And it'll be easy. Like I asked her, is that true? She says, yes, absolutely. She says, somebody was upset by this for some reason. Okay, so it's going to be like, so she comes out of the tunnel into the theater. So like right at the start of her life, she is going to feel this influence that people are not happy with what I do. And so this is part of why she hides. So she's got to fix that issue. She says, remember, comes out of another tunnel. It was built into the rock and it was sort of like a cliff. There was a body of water below. So we know she's meant to work in the spiritual field because we see it immediately referenced right after a birth symbol. And it's referenced by the body of water. Doesn't matter what type of body of water it would be. So again, she was persecuted in a former life for whatever it was she did, used a healing gift, whatever. She was something in the spiritual field and she was persecuted for it. And that has her not feeling safe in life this time. She has issues with men. So I asked her about that. Do you have issues with men? Like all men, except dad. And I was able to put the except dad in brackets. And she said, absolutely. Dad is terrific, but I do have issues with men. So why would that be? Because I would always say, how mom and dad treat you is what sets you up for life. So if dad treats you like a princess, then you should have no issues with men at all. But if you bring a problem with you already, then you're going to have the issues. And so that's the understanding of where it comes from for her is what's important. She can still do something like cut the ties that bind in this lifetime and fix it. Indeed, she can. But dad is the only decent male, let's say, in her environment, which is sad.
Wow, that is an intense dream. Interesting. So Africa means previous life, or
it means
is it
getting to the root of an issue?
Okay. Getting to the root. Interesting. And then the US?
Well, here, because she's from the US, it's about safety. I feel safe. I need to get to where I feel safe. She's never been to Africa, so she doesn't know anything about the corruption there other than maybe news articles or items she would hear. So why pick Africa to be the place that, hey, it's not safe? It shows up in my dreams as, oh, here I am. And the reason is, it's if I look at the root of the issue, the origin of the problem that I've got, it is about an issue of not feeling safe. But it's an issue of not feeling safe from a former life. So there's no point in me trying to look at all the things in this lifetime and saying, okay, where does this come from? How do I fix it? You've got to fix the issue where it originated. You brought it with you. It's part of you. So you've got to solve it. And you've got to do a therapy that helps you solve and heal this masculine energy problem.
So wouldn't you have signs in this lifetime pointing to that to help really bring that forward?
No, because not in Western culture. Western culture doesn't talk about past lives or anything like that. The Bible used to talk about reincarnation, and it was all taken out by the Council of Isia. Up until that point, priests could talk about reincarnation or resurrection, whatever they wanted to talk about. And after that particular point, they could only talk about resurrection. So it's been erased from Western culture, let's say. So I wouldn't say many things in this lifetime would point to a former lifetime because people just don't talk about that type of thing.
Got it. Alrighty, let's move on. I'm interested in this next dream. So this is called Burnt Toast, and it's from Kathy. And the dream is, I was in a kitchen making toast. I remembered that there was a very important obligation that I needed to tend to, even though I didn't want to. I was distracted with that task, and I smelt something burning. I looked over at the toaster to see smoke coming out of it. I just caught it before it went up in flames. Good grief. Wow. Okay, Michael, that's a short, punchy one.
So I asked her, do you feel burned out? She said, yes, I absolutely do. So she feels burned out from work. She works in the spiritual field, but feels burned out. I asked, are you happy in life? And she said, no, not really. And that's what the toast part is about. I'm burning out, and here's where I'm going. I'm getting to the point where I'm considering that life isn't worth living because I'm stretched thin, I'm not happy, I'm burned out, all of that stuff. And so she needs to fix that. And in fact, she's working with us to fix that, and will indeed. But it's really a punchy dream in that, like, somebody could give you a short little dream like this, and this is what's going on for them.
Wow, that is brilliant. And I'm glad she's working on it, because I don't know that burnt toast is a good symbol.
Never is.
Well, Michael, I think we're out of time. This was a fabulous group of dreams for today. I'm excited to hear what people say.
Thanks very much. See y'all next week. Take care.